Here we are. Hi guys, how are you? So now it is about 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes to 6:30 p.m. Paris time. We have already one person connected. Hi, how you doing? Now there are two, so starting to be more. That's great. So how was your weekend? Hi, how you doing? Let me see if I can get this live. I'm checking also my PC, okay? So that I have a video, so that I can check also my PC how everything is coming out. So here I'm. So yes. My PC, how everything is coming out. Okay, now it's working pretty well. We are already 10. That's great. Let's wait just a little bit. Okay. Ciao, Emilio. This is my son. He is also a YouTuber, but he makes slimes. So if you have kids or little brothers and sisters that love to see how you make a slime, those fluffy stuff that you do with your hands, then you can go and check his page, which is Emilio Creations or Emilio Bove on YouTube, and you will find a young kid, 14 years old, that makes slimes tutorials live. Okay, so ciao Leonardo, how are you? Come va? Emilio Creations. Now I make a slime from my shop. All right, that's great. Yes, he has a shop. Okay, so just in case you want, you can even buy. You can even buy online his slimes. He made even a logo design. Hi Luciano. Ciao Andrea, come va? Not at home, so can't see the live. I'll watch later. No problem. Non ti preoccupare. Vedi la live quando vuoi, tanto resta sulla pagina YouTube. So for those that cannot watch tonight, don't worry, because you can always catch it later on the main homepage of this YouTube channel. Hello from India. Hi. So 11 people. So there is something I want to tell you. First of all, it was a great weekend here. Okay, we had some sun, very nice spring temperature, to be honest, and I could also do a little bit of gardening on my garden. Okay, so what I want to tell you that the weekend was great, and most of all, we had the Formula One Grand Prix from Australia. I don't know how many of you are fun like I am about Formula One, but I was quite happy that it was we had the first Grand Prix of the season, so that finally every 15 days we're gonna be delighted with the F1 racing. Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, it was really amazing, especially how Ferrari won. That was pretty smart. Okay, let's wait still one more minute, and then we'll start sketching together, okay? Yeah, yes, yeah, it's true. It's so sad. They could have ended up for fourth and fifth, because they were going really well, and because the mechanics had this problem with the gun that puts the bolts inside the wheel. This was an unsecurity checking out of the car, and of course was very dangerous. So both of them had the same problems in few laps. That's very, very, very sad. But that's experience. They will learn from this mistake. I think that there was something related to the technology used to read that it was unsafe and not safe, the release of the car. So there is some stuff they had to do. The McLaren, I was very happy because I like a lot Alonso. So I was very happy McLaren with this time with Renault engine went really well. This time Alonso started getting good points, not like in the past 2 years. So it was really hell for him. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? Hi Bove, mille miglia more than you like the mille miglia, yes. Yeah, I'm not so much fun about it. But anyway, no big deal. So today I would like to do one thing with you that I did not do, and I think that it's better I do. You remember we made sketches of the basic shapes to show how the light reflects on shading, it's going, it's behaving on those basic shapes, whether they are matte surfaces or chrome surfaces. Hello, ciao. So the only basic shape I did not do was the cylinder, which for me was probably the easiest one for you to understand. But some of you contacted me later and they asked me if the reflections I was putting on my side views, it was because of the transparency, because the glass was open, which means the window down. And no, it was not. So the window is always closed when we make a sketch. It's the reflection on top of a closed window. So I had to look to answer back to the comments to some nice sketches done online. So I found on Google some nice, beautiful sketches done of a chrome cylinder. And then in that case, hi Kevin. And then in that case, people understood. So I told myself, it's true, it's my fault because I didn't do it. So today we will start from that. Then there is another thing that I want to talk to you about. It's backgrounds, okay? We have one of the people that are following us constantly, which I like a lot, from India. And this guy made a beautiful sketch of a three-quarter front view according to what we did together last Wednesday, but last Monday, 1 week ago. But he put a background that was so messy, even if he was thinking to do something really good. And what happens? It happens that the whole sketch became messy. So basically, the background he used, it was doing a bad fight with his sketch. So the two were fighting, and of course, in this case, the illustration or the sketch becomes a poor sketch because we have a big mistake on the sketch. Even if the perspective was correct and the shading on the shape of the car were correct, so we will do that too. And after, we will start using a big pen, and we will, for a while, we'll take the pencil off, and we will start using the big pen. Okay, this is what we do, and then of course we'll do some nice sketches. And because we are using the big pen, we can also use some markers because the pen and the markers go very well together. All right, and I think that everybody is really interested in checking how a marker is used, on our shapes. Okay, ciao, hey, how you doing? Okay, so first of all, let's make our cylinder. All right. So once again, I take the camera down onto the paper. I check on my PC to make sure that the frame is well set. And then we'll start, all right? So here I am doing it, all right? Okay, so it looks good, all right? Let me put this a little bit higher, the light. Okay, so you can hear me very well, I hope. Anyway, our Ciao Bogdan. So our microphone has been set up, and now I will do the cylinder to explain better how the reflection is really done on the side of the car. So first of all, when we do a side of a car, of course, the cylinder it's positioned laying down, no, horizontally, not vertically. So that's what we'll do. If I see a cylinder straight front view, the cylinder is something like this. I do a quick sketching, okay? All right. So I can do this, I can do that. Then, of course, with the line quality, I try to do this is the ground line, okay? And then what happens? We have a reflection because this is chrome, so it's a reflecting surface, all right? And so what we're gonna do? We're gonna make the reflection here, okay? This is our reflecting line. Here we have our core, okay? Which is, as you remember, the sky concentration, right? It's the compression of the sky color. And then on top here we have just a small reflection, very tiny, because this is the reflection on the other side, okay? So if I make an X section of our cylinder, you see, this cylinder, then I take it, okay, and I put it here like that. So is it clear to you? All right, so what I'm gonna do to make it faster, I use a ruler just to clean up the lines, okay? All right. Then we do this. Then we do that. Has to be straight because it is a cylinder. When we do the side of a car, because the side glass it's a little bit spherical, okay, a little bit spherical on the side, this reflection will be a little bit with an arch, okay, a little bit a curve. But because this is a plain cylinder, then of course this is gonna be a straight line. You agree with me on that? I hope so. So now I clean up again my pencil and I do the last line, which is the ground line. Okay, so let's make the straight line. Okay, this one is it's a little bit crooked, so we're gonna make it straight. Okay, like that, trying to correct. Every time we do make a sketch, there are corrections, okay? It is normal. Okay, and now let's start shading it, all right? So, I will apply the black here. And what I'll try to do, this is super black, okay? Because you know, when we make a reflecting surface, we want a very high contrast. That's gonna give the shiny, beautiful effect, okay? But going up, I am just a little bit lighter so that I can see the last line of the cylinder turning, okay? I'm gonna show you close. I hope you can see it. You see, it's just a little bit shading from dark light dark. Even if it is a very small tiny area. Okay, now let's move on and let's do the bottom part. Now, do you remember we said that on the other side here, around here, there are some trees, okay? The nature. So do you remember when we made the trees on the side of the glass or on the wheels? We will do here too. Of course, the shape of the tree in this case, because everything is straight, it will be stretched a little bit on an horizontal indication. And that's, of course, the consequence of the fact that this is an extruded cylinder. So let's let's try to do it like that. Okay, now that I did my detail here, what do? I start applying my shading, okay? So now we start going a little bit lighter. And there is a secret, there is a trick we can use to understand if the thing is turning well. I mean, if we have the feeling that the surface is really turning, okay? I will show you. This is something I also learned in school from our illustrator sketching teacher. First of all, let's make this shading, okay? Let's do it well. And of course, here in the front, at the bottom, there must be something. So we must have another reflection here, okay, that I will do a little bit higher than the ground line. So I'll move up a little bit my ruler and just make a black line, like that. And then from here, I also make a little bit of shading, just very light. Okay, so now that I start doing this, I have to put the core, right? The sky concentration. This area here. And there we go. We do it. Okay? So I start making the shading. I work always from light. Okay? And then here too. On top. You see, now I'm moving up a little bit. Okay, let's see together already this part. Do you see? So it's starting to look like a real cylinder, okay? And now we have to clean up a little bit this area here, and the core must be darker because it's too light. This area here has to be as dark as the darkest part of our reflections, as we said last time. So that's what I'll try to do now. So I start from here, the center, of course, and I start hitting a little bit darker. And this is starting to make the thing turn. So I go again there. And then I hit again, one time more. One more time. Then I clean up here, as we said. Okay? And here too. Okay, so let's see. Let's check our cylinder. Can you see it? Now it's turning. Now this is a cylinder. And you see, when we do this, we can see that the surface starting from here is turning also, no? This effect. And that's what we're looking for. Now, there is a trick that I learned in school, and I will show you, to understand if a surface that we make, it is really turning or it still needs to be worked to make sure that the shading is really well done to explain or to communicate the value of the shading of the surface. I know it has nothing to do with what you presented today, but can you tell us what were the most important courses that you studied at Art Center? Yes, I will. I will tell you, Bogdan. I will tell you. I just finished this exercise, and then we have a 5-minute break, and I will say. So, if I take 2 pages white, okay, and I do this, you see, I cover the extremity. I don't want to see the end. I just go like this, or like this, or like that. The question is, when I see it, is it turning? The answer is yes. So this is when an exercise in shading is well done. That's the proof. You understand? And this is something that you can do on your own. When you sketch your car, if you're not sure how the section is coming, put 2 papers like that and try to read, to see what you see, to read what you see. And if you are not convinced, you can go there with your pencil and still, give a little bit more shading. For example, on the side, it's a little bit light. So I do a little bit more. You see? And here, now let's see the difference. You see? It's turning here. Here is a little flat. You see? This is dark, but this is a little bit too light. So it's not turning like here, or like here where I already retouched it. So what do? I open up, and I do the same thing here, with a little bit of patience. And now, there you go, because the dark value that we have here, it's very close to the dark value that we have on our reflection. So, I hope that's clear to you. And of course, when we make our cylinder in perspective, we apply the same rule. You see? I go kind of quick. And then we do our core. So, doing that, it's a little bit like when we do side view in perspective of our side window. Now, I go here and I clean up the lines. I also have to clean up my points. Okay, so I do a shading dark, light. Our shadow will be here, okay? We make the shadow. And of course, there is a little bit of the shadow reflected on this surface, which is flat. Because it is flat, we do like that. Okay, so let's check it out together. Okay. Okay, so this was the cylinder that I didn't do last time. But here you can see that this is a mirror effect. And here too. And once again, to check if what we did is correct or not, let's take again our two white pages. Okay? And then we check. It looks like it's turning well. There too. Here too. Look. All right. Okay, now that we did that, we have to talk a little bit about backgrounds, as I said. Now there is a rule that we should respect when we make backgrounds, which is not complicated. So, if we have a city car, okay, something that is small, like the Twizy, okay, okay, let's do a very quick doodle, okay, very quick. Okay, so if we have something like that, okay, now let's imagine that our page is like this. This is our page. Okay. So when we, okay, now this is like in the center, you see? And when we have a sketch like that, it's a beautiful sketch, but the composition like that is a little bit static, okay? It is static. And you know, when we do car sketching or car renderings, we want to impress and create emotions. And of course, if you want to create an emotion, a positive emotion, you don't need a static, nice, clean sketch. You need something that is more dynamic. So there are two things that give you a dynamic effect on your sketches. The first one is how we place the car on the page, okay? The shifting between the page, the car size, and its position. And the second thing is the type of background. So let's make of this static sketch a dynamic sketch. So first of all, let's imagine that our page is this one. You see the difference already? The car is already moving. That's nice. And what we did was we just took the page, the car on the page, and we move it on forward. Now there is another thing we should do. We should take the car a little bit lower. So I take my page and I bring it up. Okay. So now the car is down compared to before. And this is better. And now the last thing I do, I will put a background. Now the car is very square, but it's also very tall. You see? So when we have this, we have to put a geometrical page, a geometrical shape in the back of the car, in the back of our sketching, which has an opposite position. If this is square, we'll put something that is horizontal and flat, so that it's supporting our car and it's gonna give the effect of pushing our car outside the page. And let's do it. So generally we make a dark black shape in the back, okay? And then those lines here where we have the background, we make a little bit darker, okay? Just a little bit. Now, can you see how nice? That's a nice background. Very simple. It doesn't take much. And we find ourselves with a very easy trick to give a lots of dynamism to our sketch. Okay, so now let's do the same thing with a different type of car shape, okay? So I make again here our page, okay? Same proportion, same ground line, okay? And now let's do something like a sports car, which is very, very low as a car. Great, we are 20 people. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna just do this, do that. We make a short front. Can you see me? Write to me, please, if you can see me and hear me. Because on my PC, yes, okay, so it's just my connection. Who cares? The important thing is that you can see me. Okay, so Okay, so imagine we have something like this, okay? Very quick sketch. Those are thumbnails sketches. Very quick, just to give ideas. Well, let's say that the shape here is in shadow. It's coming out like this. Okay, so now you see those are really different type, two different type of cars completely. City car, two people. This is probably four people, two people, but very long car, very low. It is like you have a connection problem. Okay, so but on my telephone it works really really well. Anyone else has a connection problem? Prashat Moore has a connection problem. Are you still, the other people, are you still seeing me? Can you write it down, please? Okay, good. Okay, good. I'll continue. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. It's really the connection for some of you that is not so clear. We had now we yes we can. Okay, good. So now we have to think what type of background we put here to help this very compressed body and very long car. So in this case, we can do two things. Or we make a dark here, you see, like that. I show you. Can you see this light line I put, this little line here? If we make all this dark, or we can do something like this. We can play it vertical. We can play it vertical, going through. Let's play this one because it looks nice. Also because it's gonna leave this part outside of the background. And this one to me looks more interesting, more artistic. So let's do it. On the top of this part, I will try to be dark. Not too dark. And at the bottom, I'll try to keep it a little bit lighter. You see? It looks nice. Darker, dark light. It looks like there is a mirror on the ground, like we are in a saloon. Then when I do this, the lines here, I have to retouch up those lines because we want to make it alive. So we want to make sure those lines are marked really well. So I go on the outline and I try to make it a little bit darker. And I clean up lines. Not too much, huh? Just the necessary. Okay, look. The little sketch, just to figure out what we can do, it's finished. You can see it looks pretty good. It's not so bad. Okay, so this is the main rule when we apply a background. If we have something that is very square, tall, small, then we play the opposite type. Okay? We do something that is horizontal. And if it comes out to the page, it's good because it's like something is pushing the car. In this case, because the car is very long and very tiny here, then we play the opposite. We do something vertical because this is very horizontal. Okay? Now, if I use this one here, like that, this background would eat a big part of my car shape, and then I could not see really well the proportion of the car. That's why it's very important. Ciao, Omkar. That's why it is very important to make sure that the background choice we make, it's really there to support our car shape, to give value. Okay? And here also, if I make a big thing like that, the car is so short that everything would come out in the same main shape. This means no contrast between the car and its background. And it would be more difficult to read and perceive the proportion of the car. So the objective is always to make it dynamic and to make sure that it's supporting the reading of your main car shape. Length of the return perpendicular side of the car. Okay, good. Now that we did this, if you want, I can switch to pen, okay? Ballpoint pen. So one thing I want to say, you know what we can do here? I can already do this so that I have this time two images. Today is 26 March 18, okay, great. And then we take our marker and then we say here dynamic, and then we do voila, like that. Do you like it? Looks nice. After I'll take a picture, okay? We can write here composition on page. And this is a nice exercise you can try at home, all right? So that you can put it on the Luciano Bove review hashtag, and I will go and check your quick thumbnail sketches. You see, they're small. You don't need to do always a big sketch. Sometimes you can take 5-10 minutes, 1 hour in doing little things. You know, we try composition, we try backgrounds, we try shapes. And it is nice. And this is a part of a sketchbook. You understand that, no? Okay. So now that we did this, I will take a picture of this later on. Promise. We take our pencil, we put it with the pencils. So we take a big, okay? Same apply to 3/4 view of the car. Yes. Also the 3/4 view. Of course, when you have a perspective, I will show you next time, or maybe we'll do it here. You have to take into account that you are in perspective, so that you have a depth that is different compared to a side view. All right, so the first thing we want to do, we want to check that there is no extra, I forgot the name, ink. There is no extra ink here, because if we have extra ink, it's gonna be a mess. So sometimes you do this, you turn, you see it's clean, so it's okay. We are safe. We are not gonna provoke a mess on our paper. So always a nice clean paper, okay? And ink, yes, thank you Aditya, thank you. So what I want to try to do now, because we are changing media and we are taking the pen, I want you to do the same exercise we did with the pencil, the line quality exercise. We do this to warm up, to get the confidence of the different type of pressure that we have with the pen, and also the feeling that the hand and the arm will feel when a pen is touching a paper. Because with the pencil, it is very, very smooth, very smooth. But when we are using a pen, it is different. It's a little bit harsh. So this means that we have to learn how to manage that pressure to have a nice result in terms of quality of the lines. Okay, so I go in the air a little bit. You see my arm, it's all moving. Okay, I'm not doing this, okay? It's my arm. And now I will start making my straight lines as we did the first time we start sketching together. So there you go. One, very light, always light. Try to be very parallel. I know that it's difficult, but who cares? Try. You see? One line. Okay, so let's check this first quality of lines. Can you see them? Very light, kind of straight, kind of parallel. Well, it's not so bad as a start. Now, one thing you discover when you use a pen is that already the noise of the pen on the paper is different. It is different from pencil. The pencil is almost like so smooth, it's almost like snow coming down. There is a sort of a silence, magical silence. Everything's soft. With the pen, it's a little bit more hard rock. Okay? So you can really listen that. And if you go stronger, the noise is stronger. You see? This is the difference of pressure compared to before. There is a big difference there. And now, if I want to show you, I do this. No, I do that. Now, if I want to show you, I don't know why, but I feel more comfortable with pen. Well, that's good, Fedi. If you like more pen, it's okay, it's fine. I advise you always to master pencil, because pencil and color pencils, it's very artistic. This comes after, but the pencil is really artistic, because when you start mixing all those nice colors, you can do some really super artistic stuff. So it's important to have a good feeling with both medias, okay, both tools. Okay, so now I want to make a line that has the same 3D effect line that we did with the pencil. So, first of all, I want to redo it with the pencil, okay? First we do it with the pencil, and then I will do the same thing with the pen. So I make a sort of line like that, and you can see done with pencil, so soft, that this is darker, then my pressure changed, and this is lighter. Very light, ultra light, and then again more pressure to become darker. Same dark, this point and this point are the same. And this is a variation line that gives you the idea when I touch the line again. You see? Okay. You see the line? It became a sort of an accelerated line. And that's you saw when I did the sketch here. I will show you. Do you see that? Do you see dark shading light, dark shading dark, but some lines are very light. It's the same process, it's the same feeling, it's the same objective. Yeah, I know, Ayash, that is difficult, but you know how you can learn to draw on the same line over and over just with the exercise. You know, the first time I had to do this exercise in school, I was in your same situation. The same. But the more you sketch, the more you use it, the better you become. So I give you another example, and I don't have any more the video. I go back, just be patient for a second. Okay, so here we are. So you see, I do a line, and then I do again the same line. You see, here is pretty good. Here is a little bit different. You see, look, they are different, but it's not big deal. It is not really big deal, because when I go and hit the line that I like, I will choose one of the two, and I will take the upper line because it has a better quality. This one is a little bit too straight. It does not go well with this double shape here. So I take this one and I'll try to hit the top line. You see? Very light. Always shading. So when I do this, what do you see? You see only one line, and the little line we have here, you don't see it anymore. And that's the objective. You know, at the end, what we can say of that little line, who cares? Let it be. It's not important. You choose the right one to retouch. This is the principle. Now that we did this, I take my pen and I try to do the same thing, okay? So I go here and I do the first one. I do another one there. So you can see that there is a difference between the lines. This one is kind of static. This is very dynamic because it's dark, light, dark, light, dark. And when I use the pen, because of the pen, the first line quality comes very much the same. So we have to use the pen again to make that line live, as to become alive. Now it's almost like a dead line. We want to make it alive. So we're going to give it a soul. All right, we'll bring it to life. So here we go. I go again on the same line, okay? I hit the same thing. I do the same thing I did on the other one. And of course, because it's a little bit more difficult, I mean, at least for me, I have to make correction. Okay, so let's check the line. It's not so bad. You see, there is a difference between the quality of this one and the quality of this one. Of course, because the media are different. Pen is a little bit harder, as we said. It's harder to control a pen in all its light and dark evolution. So we had to retouch. With the pencil, it's natural because of the nature of the pencil. Okay, so now we can do other exercise, like for example, circles. You see? It's important when you do this, you see, my arm, it's kind of parallel from the ground, and I try to have always the same movement so that I get control of my arm, okay, from my shoulder to my hand. I want to be in control. And then I can do also smaller. I can do ellipses. And I can hit stronger. Okay, I show you a little bit. I don't know if you are doing the exercise, but anyway, it's important that you see how I do so that you can do it home when the video will be over so that you can try on your own. And now that we did this, there is another thing to say that when we use a pen, the pen is very hard because it is plastic. Instead, this is soft. So what happens to the paper? I don't know if you can see, but the paper has some marks because of this. I was pressuring and this one has marks. This means that if I do this, you see the marks coming out? I show you. Maybe you can see. I hope you can see. Very good, Ayash. So this means that when we have to make a nice sketch with a pen, we have to take this and we have to sacrifice at least one paper if we want a real good quality. Because we find a nice sketch, but the paper, the basic paper, is completely destroyed. Okay, so what I suggest to do to avoid this is that you take 2-3 papers, old papers, and you always put it underneath. Okay? This is the protection you can make to the underneath clean paper for the next one. Okay? Okay, so now let's try to do some quick sketching. Okay? So I make a ground line. Okay? Very light. And I start doing something. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, I'll try to get some nice proportion. I'm doing really light. Okay? And I try to see if it's coming out something interesting. Okay, so let's see. Very light sketch, very light line work, very light. But proportion are not bad. This looks not so nice here, to be honest. I think that this should be or in the back or more inclined like that. We will see sketching, okay? If I can make this look better. First of all, our hood is a little bit too flat. So we have to make this a little bit more curved. And now I'm starting to hit a little bit stronger. Check. You see? And now the front looks better with this arch here. It's a better proportion. Before it was too flat. So now I'm starting to make those lines alive. Okay, I'll bring life to them, as we said before. Because I'm really searching for the good lines that will define to me a basic shape that I can like. Make this a little bit higher. Okay, so do that. Let's make this a little bit cylindric. This is a little bit too high, so I make it a little bit lower. And the wheels, I make a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger. Now I'll try to make a belt line, which is kind of creative. Okay. And try to give a little bit of sculpture in the front. All right, let's check again. All right. Aditya Vanka, you are late. Don't worry. You can always go back and check this video once it's finished. Don't worry, it's gonna stay on the homepage. Sketching cars together, part 5. Okay, so now we have an outline, right? We have a basic proportion, okay? And we can also check, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. Wait, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for you so that you can see. So also from the back, it looks nice. In terms of proportion, no? Okay, so now let's go back to sketching. Let's put again the light correctly. Okay. All right. So now you know what I do? Let's have some fun with markers. Do you agree with me if I use some markers? Omkar, why can't you hear me? That's very strange. There's no audio. Wait. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So you can hear me now. All right. So wait just a second that I put the camera back. This is a live connection. Okay, all right. So let's go back. So first, I'm searching for black color. Okay, black marker. Here we have a number 10, cool gray, but I know that I have a super black, and I want to look for it. There you go. I found it. So I use a black to make only what is black, okay? And everything else will be done with a few markers that are a very light tone and medium tone, okay? So first of all, we have a shadow and the ground, and this is done with black. So I go. Now, when I use the marker, it's the same thing like pencil and the pen. I have a feeling with my hand, with my arm and my shoulder. I'm not gonna do this because it's gonna bleed. And I don't want that to happen. So I have to be very gentle, very light, okay? Knowing where I'm going to put this black. That's important. Because if you put it everywhere, we're gonna destroy our sketch. So I am light with my hand. And I turn it because I want to hit with the point and not with the whole surface. You understand the difference? You know? This is a chisel point. So I'm trying to use the point. All right, so there we go. You see, I'm very light. And then I do the reflection of the glass. And a little bit of reflection of the windshield. And a little bit the rear glass. Just a line here. Okay. Can you see it? Not bad. You see, the marriage between the black pen and the black marker, it's working quite nice. All right, so now I take my black and I put it away. I keep it there. Maybe I will need it later, all right? And now what I want to do, I want to look for a very light gray, like this number 2. Very light, okay? When we use markers, we should have always an extra paper on top of this because we have to reproduce always the same condition when we draw. And we want to check how our marker is working. So same paper, same surface, and same stack of paper. Because if I do here on this surface, which is very hard, the result of my marker will be different than if I do on top of the stack of the paper, because the quality will be different. This is very important. Those are little things that I learned in school, that teachers told me. So I go very light and I just do one. You see? I let it dry. I do another one. You see? It comes out very nice, very clean. Look. So now that I check that my marker is working pretty well, I'll make a sort of a shading. I want to see how it's gonna come out. And I let it dry. This is just to make us to simulate the shading of a reflection. You know? Okay, so now we do this, we did this with the number 2. But what happens if I take number 1, cool gray, number 1, which is really the lightest gray? Let's redo the same thing. I do one here, then this is a little bit dry marker, which is better. It's really light, too light. So let's make a but look what happens when I try to make a shading only with the same marker, very light marker. It looks very nice too. Can you see it? You see, this one is kind of hard. This one is much softer in the way it's shading. So you know what I do? I decide that I start with a number 1 to make the base of my marker. And after, I will go with the number 2. Okay? Let's try and let's see what happens. And that's how Luciano destroyed the sketch. Okay, so number 1, this one. A little bit on the glass. I have to go several times because it is dry. But dry markers are very good to do this type of shading. You see, I'm trying to make the core, what we used to do with a pencil. Now I'll do where is the reflection. Try to be very gentle. And then a little bit here. It's really dry, this one. Okay. Now let's see a little bit together how it's coming out. Okay, it's a little bit messy, but now I know that I will take number 2. With the number 2, things might change for better. All right. So let's take number 2. I was very light. Check, it looks nice. Look at the effect of the lines. of the marker. Yeah, Ayash, C2 will do it. That's what I did now. I used the number 2. Ciao Emilio! We are doing sketching with marker tutorial. All right, so, but now I want to get a shading, no? Because if we don't make the shading, it's not gonna work. So I take again number 2 and I shade. Of course, if I want to make a shading, I'm not gonna take the marker and hit up here and go until the end. No, 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 no. I won't do that. I will try to keep myself up there because I want to create a darker area and a light area down. Okay? So here we go. Now that it's dry, because it's important, one other thing very important for you guys, we have to make sure that when we use marker, before we build up layers, the marker is dry. Because if the marker is not dry, we're gonna ruin the sketch because it's going to bleed. So we have to give time to the paper to absorb and dry it. And a way to do it is I take this part of my hand, I do this, and if it's warm, this means that it's dry. But if it's kind of fresh or cold, means that there is still alcohol that is not dried. That's a secret that you can use, okay, to check if your marker is dry or not. Now it's dry, so let's try. Let's try. So now it's starting to look really nice. There you go. Now we see the shape. Okay? Now I can tell you very honestly, this I don't like this. This is nice, but here I don't like. So we have to do something there to make it look better. And I will do it. I take number 1 again. And I put the number 1 here. So I modify a little bit the reflection here. And here too. All right. Okay. So I take the number 2. All right. This is drying, so I don't touch that. I make another line here. Okay. And I'll do a little bit of the top of the hood because here it's flat. Now I will use number 4, okay, number 4 to make the end of the car here, this element that I put in the back, because I imagine that this is made of plastic or a dark color, okay, to give a value change of the colors. So first of all, let's check always. You see, nice, nice. You see? Very nice, very cold, very cool. Medium gray, number 4. And I'll do it like this. Okay, that's it. So I want to show you this now. So what do you think? Do you like it? Now, here it's a little bit flat. You know, this problem we solved it. That's okay. But what I would like to do is to do a better reflection here to show that this is a kind of a big surface. All right. Here in the front is pretty good. I won't do anything. So I'll take number 2 again. Here we are. Here we are. Number 2. Thank you, Ross. Looks alive. Yeah, it's moving. Okay, so what I want to do, look, I used my pen. I want to make sure that here, you see, this surface, it's really moving up. So it's kind of doing that. So let's see if I can do that. Let's see. All right, I think I did it, I think. But I want to show you and see if you agree with me. It's like modeling. Look, can you read the shape now? It's like a spoon, a little bit. Okay, so now one thing I will do, I will work a little bit around the wheels and then we'll try to put some core here in this area. Okay, what brand of marker are you using? I'm using old Chart Park marker. This one, Parker. This one. Oops. Yeah, this one. Copic marker are the best. This one, Copic marker. This one. Those are the best. You're welcome, Kevin. So, now that I have to do the wheels, I go back with the black, the super black, the magic black. Because what I want to do here, I have to give a little bit feeling, okay, of the wheel well, so that we get a better proportion. Messy transforming into classy. Thanks. Okay, so I go again with the point, okay? I'm not using the whole thing. And I try to do this. Look. And turn the page if you feel more comfortable. That's okay, huh? And then I do the same thing here. All right. Then I have to do a little bit here because this is the tire. Just little things, not too much. Just to give an idea. Okay, now we really block in the proportion of this car. Okay? So I will just do some little things here, okay? And then we will see in this area what we do. So there is a little surprise for that. So I take number 2. I do that. I let it dry, okay? I'm putting those lines because they follow the original they follow the original pen lines that I put there before and give the idea of a reflection. You see? Shiny reflection. Then I can go with my pen and just make it a little bit darker. You see? I'll show you. And here you have the idea that it's like liquid reflections. You see? Just a little touch, not too much unless it becomes very messy. Okay, now the wheels here, they are dry. So let's do something, I don't know, we'll see. I'll take the marker number 4, the same marker we used for the back, okay? I'll do a little bit here of shading in the center, like that. It's drying, okay. And here I do something like that. There's a lot of stuff in it. So I do this, then I take again number 2, okay, and I hit up here because this is in shadow. I hit a little bit more there, okay, to create a little bit of shading, of course. I do a little bit more over here. All right, a little bit there. A little bit here also, because I want to be a little bit darker. And here too. Okay. And here also, because this is also in shadow. I show you again. Do you like it? Now I will use a different marker. Thank you. I will use a completely different marker to make the feeling of the sky, okay? So that we can create a warm and a cool area of a tone value of color and give a very good feeling to the sketch. So let's check. What do we have here in terms of color? Look, we have 2 yellows, okay? One which is hot and the one which is a little bit pale, okay? Let's try this one. Let's try it here first. And now I cannot do a background because look, I sketched up here. So next time I will, promise. So look how nice is this. Look, very sharp. It's also very new. Very strong, too strong. So let's use another one. This one, the pale one. But this is even stronger. They are not good. So I have to find something different. This is violet. This can be very interesting for us. Let's see this one. No, this is salmon, not good. This could be, you see, this one is very light, could be the sky. So I'm gonna hit with this light, I'm gonna hit with this light, what color is this? Pale lime, okay? Because I don't have, let's see this one, because I have also sapphire blue. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Because this color, this sapphire blue, it's more like the real sky color. Okay, so let's do it. I'm gonna hit, huh? Okay, so for the moment, I just do that. Look, looks nice. It looks like there is the sky up there now. Can you see? You saw I was very light, huh? I didn't insist too much because the more marker we put, the more messy we risk to create. So we had to try to do it very, very gently. And now that we did this, I would like to have something that is a little bit warm. But we said that those colors that I have, they are not good because they are too strong. So there is always a solution. What do we do? Well, in this case, we have our color pencils. And let's see if I have a light red. This could be nice. Maybe this is too red. I need a warm color. So I'm searching for a warm color. This one looks nice. Or this one looks better. Okay, let's use that one. So, if on top we have a warm color, at the bottom we have the sunlight, because we said we always have a contrast, warm and cool, or cool and warm tone value. Always a contrast. If I put warm yellow here, then the cool sapphire blue it's on the opposite, and vice versa. Okay? You get that. Ciao, Vipo. So let's make here a little bit of lines with this yellow. Okay. Okay. All right, that's it. Look. Can you see the color? The two colors? It is an orange yellow. Now you can see the car is really turning. The surface is turning. We have the upper part, the middle part, the hot spot that is giving light like that. And the sections, according to the section of the sketch, that's where it is hitting. Okay, so, but we didn't finish yet. Because now I'm having fun with you. So I want to clean up. First of all, we need a cut line. Just very light cut line, okay? Very light. So I put just a little bit of graphics to give an idea of a front end, okay? We make a big opening down here, okay? All right. I take my black marker and I put in the hole a little bit of black, okay? And there is one more thing I want to do with you, but to do that, I have to search. Yeah. I don't have it here. Next time I will do it, promise. I wanted to put some white. So I have a white pencil, okay? And this is a very good one because with this one we can put some nice lines. For example, here, here, here. Then I'll take my black and I clean up some lines because there is a little bit of bleeding of the marker. So on the outline, I just clean up. It's a little trick. You do, no problem. We want to try to have a nice clean sketch. Even if it's a quick sketch. Okay, so now I will show you our side view. You ready? Can you see a little bit of the white lines? They are very light, but they are nice. They give effect of a real reflections. I try to put it closer so that maybe you can see where I put the white lines. Okay, so once again, let's go back to our writing here. So this is the hashtag Luciano Bove review. Instagram and YouTube. Okay, so thank you very much. I will make a photo of this one too, all right? Thank you very much for staying with me for so long. You guys, incredible. It's an hour and a half we are here. So I think and I hope that you liked what we did today, all right? So let me put a little bit more dark lines here. I see always an improvement possible to do. Now I'm going to turn to turn. Here we are. Wait, I search my glass. Okay, so I hope that what we did today it was useful to you. Just to remember what we did. Okay, we started with the cylinder because I did not do last time. So this time I did the cylinder, all right, which is nice to learn and understand a chrome surface on a cylinder. What's on? Then we did a little bit of composition on page, on doodle sketching to make sure that our backgrounds and our compositions are correctly done to have something dynamic. And then the last thing we said, we start using a pen, all right? A pen. And with the pen, of course, we can use markers. And there we go. We just try to make something with markers and a black pen, all right? Fixing perspective, fixing the little mistakes. So I really hope that you liked it. Most of all, that this was useful to you. So next Wednesday, I will be here again. I have an important meeting that will finish at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I hope that in an hour and a half I will be here. If not, we will start 30 minutes later, okay? It's a big presentation with the big boss, so I cannot, I have to be there, all right? So, thank you very much. Have fun. Share this video because we have to build up our community of sketching together, having fun live. Prego, grazie, ciao a tutti, bye.